name's Jason and welcome to Rural Skills Online Primes training video for administration tasks. During this video we're going to go over some of the more common administration tasks. If you have any questions on how to do anything specific, please let us know and we'll try and help you out. As I said, in this video we're going to go over common administration tasks. That includes adding new users and enrollments, resetting passwords, checking on the progress of students, as well as editing profiles and making updates to particular areas of the site. Okay, well, I'll get out of the way and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm logged in here with my administration account. If you've watched the previous videos, which I suggest you do, you'll know that the different accounts have different views. So whilst the site generally looks the same, as managers or administrators, you're going to have a lot more options than, say, an assessor or a student. So first of all, we're going to look at how to add students and enroll them in courses in our system. So to do that, we use Excel templates that generate a CSV file. So I'm just going to go into Excel here. We have two different CSV file templates here. We have one that says prime unique courses and prime duplicate courses. So the difference between these two Excel templates, which are available on your site, there'll be a block on the right where you can download them. The difference between the two is that one is for where each individual entrant on that spreadsheet has a unique course requirement. So it would be for possibly people that are doing trade qualifications which have different units, or it could be schools where all the students are picking different units, and this is the one you would use for that. So that's the unique courses, which we'll go over in a second. And then we have the duplicate courses. This one is for classes and when there's very rigid qualifications with particular units. So this is handy if you've got a group of people or a group of classes, or everybody within your organization does the same units. You can use this particular template and it'll allow you to only have to fill out one line of the courses and it will auto-populate as you add more users. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the unique courses because that would probably be used more often, but this is really handy if you have multiple students all doing the same course. Okay, so here we are on the unique courses spreadsheet. So it's very straightforward, very self-explanatory. We have the username, so we're going to add a new user. We'll call this training. Then first name and last name, so training user. Then we can give a password here, like a temporary password if you've got one that you're set on that you can give to everybody. The system will always ask them to reset their password on first login anyway. You can also generate a password if you wish, which was still just a temporary password. So it's really up to you how you want to go about it. For this one, we're just going to put in a temp password here. Then we have the email address. Email address is really handy. It'll allow the students to self-service their accounts, they edit their profiles, change details, reset their password if they've forgotten it, things like that. So if you can get email addresses for your students, it's a very good idea to use them. Okay, so we'll just put a temp one in here. And then the institution. This field isn't required, but it's handy if your organization is handling a lot of different schools or different companies or orgs or whoever it may be. It's just a way to keep track of where they actually come from. So we're just going to put New South Wales School here. Alright, and then we get onto the course selection itself. So it's very simple. There's a drop down arrow. You just select the unit that you want, and so on and so forth. We'll just do 3 units for this one. And then you have the group name. So the group is very important to Moodle. If you want to split up the classes so that, or split up the students, sorry, so that the assessors and trainers only see the people that are applicable to them instead of seeing every user on the site, this is where we'll use groups. So it's a very handy feature and it makes it a lot easier for administrating and keeping the site clean. So for the group names, generally people use either the class or the school or the qualification name. whatever you want to put in there, you can. So what will happen is once you put in the first group, so we'll call this group 1 test, it will automatically populate wherever you have a course with group 1 test, so you don't have to keep inputting it. So we'll do that again. Okay, we'll add another one here, training user 2. Oops. We'll just fill down, it'll be quicker. And we'll select different units for this particular user so you can see how it works. I might put them in a different school too. Queensland. Alright, so now we're going to select the courses, so these will be different. We'll go INF, Bio, and LSC. Again, we'll put in a group, so we'll call this group 2 test, just to keep things simple, and that'll automatically populate. So that'll keep doing it for as many courses as you have. The reason we use the word course is because that's how Moodle understands it. So while it's the unit, Moodle understands and interprets the field course as the unit it's going to put in. So you can add up to 20 units here with under the course drop downs. We'll add another one here just for the sake of it. And you'll see that that automatically populates a group. So we try to make it as easy as possible and as you know, time easy as possible as well. So as I said, you can get up to 20 units here, but very rare that happens. From here we would save it, and we'll save it as a CSV file. So I'm just going to save this onto the desktop. So select CSV from here and then hit save. I'll just name this unique. Click save, go through the prompts, and then that's right to be uploaded. So we're going to do the duplicate courses one now, and then we'll actually look at uploading them. So for this one, it's a little bit different. Again, the unique courses is for the students have unique units on their quals or their class or their short course, whatever it may be, for each person on there. For this particular spreadsheet, this is where everybody has the same units, and this is a real time saver. So what we're going to do is we're just going to call this student. We'll give the first name as student, last name as training. Give it a password of temp. Put the email in if we have it, as well as the institution. So we'll call this RSO Prime. Alright, now we're going to select our courses. So we'll select a few courses in this one. We'll go up to 4. And then we'll put the group name in. So we'll call this RSO Prime. And that'll automatically populate just like the last one. From here, every time we put a user in here, so what we'll call this one is student 3, and we'll just do a draw fill here. What you'll see is all this populate automatically. So as we draw down, we'll add 13 users, assuming they're all unique. And as you can see here, it's populated all of the course information. So this is really handy if everyone's doing the same course. All you do is put the new users in there and their details, and it'll automatically populate this for you. So hopefully that makes life a little bit easier for you. Alright, now that we've done that, we're not going to save this one because we'll use the unique courses as the example for this. We want to add the users now, so we're on the home page. It's quite straightforward. You just click on the nav bar up here and go down to site administration. And this will bring up all the administration tools that you have access to. Mine takes a little while to load because I have access to everything. Okay, we'll just close that. Then you click on users. We go to upload users. And then we get our file. So we'll choose our file. You can either drag and drop it or upload it from there. I'll just do the drag and drop. and then we can pick the preview rows. So if you have more than 10, pick 20 so that you can see them, and so on and so forth. We've only got 2 in there, so 10's fine. Click the upload users button, and we'll get a preview of how it currently looks. So we can see here that there's a lot of blank areas. That's because we don't have any users there, but it's going to give you an idea of what's going on. So we've got our username, first name, etc., the courses and the group they're in. If you want to scroll all the way over to the side, just go down to the bottom and there's a scroll bar there that you can have a look. Okay, there we'll go back, and now we get to the settings. So there's 2 different ways. Well, there's a few different ways, but there's 2 main ways that people do it. You can add new and skip existing users. So what that will do is take only the new users in the spreadsheet and enroll them and add them to the system. If you're trying to update existing users as well, you can change the selection to add new and update existing users, or even just update existing only. If you choose add new and update, what that will do is add all your new users and enroll them, as well as update any current users. So all you got to do is put them on the spreadsheet, put their username on the spreadsheet, select the units that you want to add them to, and that will update that particular user or that student with the units that you've selected. So for this example, we're just going to do add new only because we don't have any existing users on our spreadsheet. So next we have new user password. You can create one and send it if you like. I tend to just keep a generic one and use a field required in file. So that means it's going to look into the CSV file to try and find the password. So all of your students, if you use this, will have the same temporary password. They log in and they change their password on first login. If you want to have unique passwords, just use the create password if needed one. That's fine. Alright, next we have force password change. Make sure you have it on all. Okay, so this will force password change on all the students that are in that, or all the users, sorry, so assessors as well, all the users that are in that spreadsheet. Next we have prevent email address duplicates. You generally want this as yes. I'm just changing it to no because we use the same email address for both students. And then we have standardized usernames. Leave this on yes because what we have for the username, it needs to be unique. So to avoid confusion, we don't allow special characters or capitals. So if you put the standardized usernames as yes, it'll make sure it formats it in the particular way that Moodle needs, and it prevents duplicate people being put on. So if you've got 2 John Smiths, you can't get around it by putting a capital J instead of a lowercase j to get them both on the system. You'll have to come up with another name for that particular user. Okay, so that's about it for this particular area. You can add all these other values if you like. You can select the country where they're from. This isn't particularly critical, but it is there to be used if you want to use it. Same as you can add phone numbers and departments and whatever else to these users. So after you've done everything you need to do, so we'll just quickly go over that again. Add new only when all the people on the spreadsheet are new. If there's people that already exist in the system on the spreadsheet, use add new and update. New user password, you can use create if you like. I use field required in file. Force password change on everybody, and then make sure the standardized username is set to yes. And remember, the prevent email address duplicates, you want send the yes as well. But for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to have it set to no. So finally, we click on upload users, and what it will do is add the new users to the system and then enroll them in all the courses that you've selected. Okay, so here we have the user results. We have the 2 new users that we added, and we can see what they've been enrolled in as well as the other details. You may see some errors, and that's only because those fields were missing. We allow up to 50 on the first on the spreadsheet itself, so you will get a couple of these errors where those lines in particular were blank. So after that's completed, we just click on continue, and it will take us back to the settings page. So from here we can upload more CSVs if we like, but if we're finished we simply go to the home button and we're done. So if you want to check on those particular students, you can just pick one of the units and see if they're enrolled, or you can use site administration again and go in and have a look at the user list yourself. So back to site administration, and then we'll click the users tab again when it comes up. Then click on browse list of users, and it'll bring up all the users within the system so you can check if they've uploaded fine. Okay, so we'll go back to site admin for the moment. So that's how you upload or bulk upload a lot of users. What we'll go over next is how you do it manually. So you're only adding one user, and how you can enroll them in a unit or multiple units straight from the site itself. Takes a little bit longer, but sometimes it's easier just if you're doing a one-off to do it this way. So to add a new user manually, we just go to users, add new user, and it'll bring up the add new user pane. We fill this out appropriately, so we put in the username, we can generate a password or set one for them, force a password change, put in all their details, and once all of that is done, we just hit create user. So the only difference between this and the spreadsheet is instead of typing it in the cell on the Excel document, we put them in manually here. We don't need to add a new one. It's very straightforward. Just follow the prompts. The red stars are for required fields, and you should be pretty right. So from here, we're actually going to go in and enroll someone. So we'll go back to home, and we'll go to the units list. So you can see here in your draw bar, there's a unit list there. So for example, we'll select MOM 203. Close that, and it's very simple. You just go to this drop down arrow here which says this course, click on user enrollment, click on enroll users, and you can pick a user out of the list and click the enroll button just like that, and that will enroll them into that unit. And you can do that for as many units as you like if you want to do it manually. Okay, so that's how we manually add a student. Next we're going to look at how we reset password and how we edit profiles. So to reset a user's password, we go back into site administration again, and back to the users pane, and we're going to go to browse list of users, and this will give us a user list like we had before. And we're going to pick a user out here, so we'll use test user 3, and there's a little cog on the end that says edit. We click on edit, and it'll bring up their profile. So from here you can change anything from their email address or their name to their username as well, and it also gives you the opportunity to change their password. To do that, we click on this link here that says click to enter text. We type in the temporary password. You can have a look at what it is by just clicking on the magnifying glass here. Make sure first force password change is selected, and then hit update profile. So once you hit update profile, you'll have to let them know what the temporary password is, and when they log in, they'll have to change it again to something that suits the system. And that's about it for editing the profile. As I said, you can edit anything in here. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, next we're going to have a look at the units themselves and how you can check on the progress of a particular student. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our training course and have a look at how a particular group or class is going. So to do that, we go down to the course completion status and click on view course report, and then it will give us the course report there for everybody if you have that access. Otherwise, just make sure you pick the particular group. So the group again could be a class name or a qualification or whatever it is. So we're going to pick group 2 here, and we can see in group 2 that student test has completed the whole thing and has been found competent for the unit, whereas these 2 users here haven't. So it's a good, quick and easy way to find out where everybody's up to. There's more detail in the grading video that's online. if you have any questions about this in particular, please let us know and we'll try and help you through it. Okay, that brings us to the end of the administration guide. As I said, this is the most basic and common things that you'll be using as an administrator. If there's anything else that you need help with, please let us know and we'll try and help you through it. So give us a call, send an email, or better yet, put a help desk ticket in by emailing support@ruralskills.com.au and we'll get back to you and try and help you out as quick as possible. Just one final note. With the adding of the users and enrolling them, it can seem a little bit daunting at first, so please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. We'll help you out with the first few enrollments until you get comfortable with it. It's just one of those things that once you've done it a couple of times, it becomes second nature, but we do understand that it can look a little daunting at the start. Okay, so thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed it and good luck with it all. Thanks. Bye.